see some good volleyball.
We look forward to it. IPFW, UC Santa Barbara, coming up next, right here on College 56 Sports.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Going to college is something many people plan and save for, but in these days of tight budgets, that can be a scary proposition. And what about colleges and universities themselves? How do they face budget crunches? Is there anything the institutions or their alumni can do to get more funding? I'm Jeanette Liu, and I'll have the answers to these and other questions on this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access Channel 56.
Number 8, Nick Bellman. He's a 6'5" freshman from Aral, Puerto Rico. Number 10, Angel Ruiz Rivera. He's a 6'4" junior from Toronto, Canada. Number 11, Matt Bushevsky. He's a 6'6" senior from Cabo Rojo, Puerto Rico. Number 12, Archangel Ruiz. He's a 6'6" freshman from Istanbul, Turkey. Number 13, Serdar Sichka. He's a 6'4" junior from Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. Number 15, Javier Garcia. Head coach of your Dons, Arnie Ball. He is assisted by Ryan Perot, Mark Franke, and Dennis Johnson.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Howard Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. It's Mike Maz along with Kelly Hartley getting ready to call the action tonight's men's volleyball match featuring the Gauchos of the University of California, Santa Barbara, and the IPFW Volleyball. We'll get you the starting lineup as we go along. Kelly, welcome to Channel 56. Opening night for IPFW. We're almost ready to go, I think. We apologize for any technical difficulties you may be experiencing. UC Santa Barbara will serve first. first point of the game goes to IPFW. Did you get a good look? Rally point scoring. We'll get into that as we go along too. Point goes to UC Santa Barbara. We're tied at 1. And you will see number 14, Alejandro Parra, 6'6" sophomore from Columbia with a jump serve. Angel Ruiz Rivera had the kill attempt blocked. And it's now 2-1 in favor of the Gauchos. Jump serve. And point for UCSB. Gauchos getting off to a quick start, Kelly. Santa Barbara with the quick early lead and a service error which results in a point for IPFW. In the lighter blue and white, you get a good look at freshman Angel Ruiz Rivera. Steam on that serve. And Santiago the center. And it's point for junior Javier Garcia. 4-3, Dons trail by 1. Again, this is game 1, best of 5. We played at 30 in games 1 through 4. Good solid kill there by Justin Adams, 6'6" junior out of Paradise Valley, Arizona. Santa Barbara with the 5-3 lead in the serve. Santiago setting up Ruiz. That's point IPFW. Five for our score. IPFW trailing by 1, and senior Angel Ruiz, probably the best player IPFW had last year, with the serve. Service error on the part of Santa Barbara. Score now, Santa Barbara 6, IPFW 5. I don't think either team's got opening night jitters. Shot there by Matt Chesky. Santa Barbara unable to convert it. Scores now 7-6. Dons within 1. And again, junior Javier Garcia getting ready to serve. Nice solid kill by Nate Wack. 6'5" sophomore out of Salem, Wisconsin. Gives the point to the Gauchos. Dane Jensen serving for Santa Barbara. Kill attempt is wide and it's point UCSB rather. Jensen, 6'5" freshman from Encinitas, California. Service error into the net. Kelly, I don't know if you can hear me, and again, we apologize to everyone for the technical problems, but these teams are ready to go. Okay. Good block by the Angel tandem. Ruiz and Ruiz Rivera. Makes it 9-8. And another freshman out of Istanbul, Turkey. Serdar Sika with the serve now. Santiago set up Angel Ruiz. Ruiz gets the kill. We're tied at 9. Jensen. Oh. Point UCSB. As Bankston hammered it home. And now Anders Bankston, a 6'6" senior out of Sweden, serving. Good hit by Bashevsky. We're tied at 10. And 10-10 our score. Game 1, best of 5. Matt Bashevsky, sophomore out of Toronto, Ontario. Hit an absolutely ugly serve into the net. Point Gauchos. Alejandro Parra serving for Santa Barbara. He serves it way wide. Tied at 11. Angel Ruiz Rivera, find out of Arroyo, Puerto Rico. Kill attempt by Wack is long. And IPFW has their second lead of the night at 12-11. Ruiz Rivera to serve. Jensen. Setting up Wack, and it's long. Oh, they're going to say touched. Give the point to the Gauchos. We're tied at 12. Justin Adams serving. He serves it wide. 13-12 our score. IPFW on top here in Game 1. Season opener. Angel Ruiz, Puerto Rican senior, serving. Nice block by Dennis Santiago. Point IPFW. (14-12). Jump serve. Jensen. Oh, nice play there by Michael Kennedy. The Gauchos stopped the bleeding for a moment. Nate Wack serving. Santiago. A dink shot there by Sika. And we're at a mandatory timeout. 15-13 our score. IPFW on top. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Noticed IPFW's basketball games are a lot more fun this year, thanks to our very own pep band. Hi, I'm Krista Markham.
I'm Matt Ehrman.
And I'm Barry Sturgill, Stop Band Director. The Stop Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join.
This is a great chance to be a part of a new tradition at IPFW and meet lots of great people too.
So dust off those trumpets, pull the flutes out of the attic, and join us at the next game.
Call 260-481-6166 for more information on how you can share your school spirit and IPFW pride.
I really wanted to go for an Indiana University business degree.
But with housing and tuition, it really adds up, and the money just wasn't there to go away to college.
And with a 2-year-old, my housing options were kind of limited anyway.
And the truth is, I really wanted to keep my job and stay close to home.
Going to IPFW made all of that possible.
IPFW? The best choice I ever made.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. The right school, right here, right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Gage Sports Center. Mike Moss, Kelly Hartley with you. Hopefully, we'll get to hear from Kelly shortly. IPFW just committed a service error. This makes the score now 15-14, favor of the Volleyball. And sophomore Michael Kennedy serving for Santa Barbara. Shesky hammered one, blocked. Point IPFW. Garcia serving. Jensen. Nice dig. Santiago is blocked at the net by Santa Barbara. Jensen, the setter, serving. Santiago to Ruiz, and Angel Ruiz comes down with the kill. 17-15 to score. Serdar Sika from Turkey serving. Dig out by Bashevsky. Whack hits it over defensively. Santiago, Bashevsky, and he's off the shoulder rather of Jensen. Point Volleyball. 18-15 to score. Volleyball on top. Sika to serve. Jensen. Point Santa Barbara. Santiago setting up Ruiz Rivera. And it's point IPFW. (1916). Bashevsky serving. Jensen. Point Santa Barbara. Parra, Alejandro Parra serving. Luis Rivera with a shot. IPFW leads 20-17. Angel Ruiz Rivera to serve. Jump serve. Whack. Emerson Holmes touched by an IPFW player.
He's been there in the first 4 matches anyway.
Makes the score 20-18. And I think maybe, Santiago with a good play there. And Kelly, if you can hear me, it was a nice play by Santiago up the net.
Yeah, that's the advantage of having a left-handed setter for sure, and someone as athletic as Dennis. Ability to score points when he's in the front row.
Got anything? (21-19) to score. Whack serving for Santa Barbara. Santiago setting up Ruiz, and it's blocked nicely by Bankston. Gauchos pulled it within 1 at 21-20. Nate Wax serving. Santiago, net violation, point IPFW. Santiago serves long, service error. It's a problem Dennis had a little bit last year as well. Makes it 22-21. Kennedy to serve for UCSB. And he serves it long. Javier Garcia getting ready for a jump serve. And he serves it long. I think we're back. Well, you can hear us out there at home.
Back, Mike. I didn't know I ever was. 23 points into it. I have a lot of talking to do to catch up here, I think.
Well, we'll give you ample opportunity, Kelly. 23-22 our score. IPFW on top. Number 4, Bart Kowalski, 6-foot freshman setter.
It's a great pass. Let's take advantage of this free ball.
Santiago setting up Ruiz. Block at the net by UCSB. Pashesky for Ruiz Rivera. And he gets the point.
I'd like to see Maddie step in and set that ball. Handled it real well. Did a nice job keeping it off the net too and not handcuffing our hitter into that big block.
Nice patience there too. Let the play develop.
Very much so. Good transition, out of system.
Sika with the serve for the Dons.
Star's a nice floater.
Nice dig by Garcia. Santiago for Ruiz Rivera. But it's long.
That might have been behind him a little bit. Ball gets behind you, it's hard to generate top spin and get on top of it. And when that happens, the ball flows out on you like that.
Substitution for Santa Barbara. Number 15, Keith Pusum. 6'3" senior out of Los Gatos, California in the lineup. And he's going to serve for the Gauchos. Come into this match 1-3 on the young season. But ranked 10th in the country. Service error. It's kind of tough for someone to come in off the bench and right away start serving.
It's tough, but as coaches we sure expect it, don't we? and you know, a serving specialist at this level, you know, just needs to be ready. But it is very difficult in this environment, and it's early in the year.
Nice block at the net. 2 blocks at the net by the Dons. 3 blocks at the net. Ruiz Santiago and Ruiz Rivera tag teamed it.
However, the ball was out of bounds, so the point does go to UC Santa Barbara.
Gauchos trail 25-24, but they replayed at 30 each of the first 4 games. Kill attempt long, and we're tied at 25. And timeouts called by IPFW. Follow them, IPFW Volleyball this year, each week on the Arnie Ball Show with IPFW head coach Arnie Ball and assistant coach Mark Franke. They'll talk college volleyball with players and more. Friday evenings at 6 and Saturday afternoons at 12:30 right here on College 56 Sports. Back here, 25 all. These two teams are playing as if it's a mid-season game and not an opening season game.
Well, they're very excited. I think there's probably a lot of adrenaline flowing out there, being this early, especially for us opening up at home. Of course, UC Santa Barbara is with their 5th match into it now, 1-3. But yeah, they're playing a lot of enthusiasm both sides, and they look pretty sharp.
If you look at the hitting numbers, Kelly, on the screen, we're hitting 28%. They're hitting almost 31%.
Yeah, we need to get that up probably to be effective. And you know, UC Santa Barbara has a freshman center, so we'll see if they can maintain this type of consistency throughout the night.
And we're about ready to go.
That adrenaline I talked about can work both ways, of course.
Parra serving for UCSB. Santiago for Ruiz. Double blocks. Kennedy hammered it home at the net.
Well, yeah, that was good block. He put his hands over, of course, and the ball was tight to the net, so there really wasn't much Angel could do with that ball.
There's Kennedy, one of the tallest players on the court at 6'7".
Yeah, he's very physical, strong. What is he, a sophomore?
Yeah. Bashevsky, a little strong on that. And another timeout's called by IPFW as they trail 27-25.
This will be a big point for Dons here. I mean, and I try and get my team to understand this. I think it's important that fans recognize this with rally scoring. You know, a missed serve or any play, any 1 point is not just 1 point, it's 2 points. You know, the next point here means either 28-25 or 26-27, and there's just a huge difference at this point in the game.
You're already in the huddle. What are you telling the team right now? Or what do you think you're telling your team?
What I'm telling those guys? You know, I'm not really sure what I'm telling those guys. I know what I'm telling my team, and that's not making the air. No, I'm kidding. You know, they got to settle down a little bit. We've hit a couple balls long. They have scored mainly by our errors, IPFW's errors, not necessarily UC Santa Barbara doing something spectacular. So we need to cut down on those unforced errors and get a point here. Good hard shot and play. All starts the pass, though.
Let's see what happens. 27-25. Gauchos on top. Alejandro Parra continues to serve. Santiago Ruiz Rivera and his block at the net. Double hit called on IPFW. And now they're in that 3-point hole.
See if they go back to Angel, and they do. I think they're trying to make him work hard tonight.
Good dig by Bashevsky. Defensive return. Let's see what happens.
Not a system.
Jensen setting up. Oh, nice little touch shot at the net. Luis and Santiago's. I thought Wack was going to get it home. Substitution for IPFW, number 2, Ryan Staley. 6'2" senior out of Manhattan, Illinois, comes in. And he's going to serve. His team trailing 28-26. And it's a service error. It's twice now. Once on each team we've seen a substitute come in and service error.
They're using Ryan as a serving specialist, and he has a very effective serve. But yeah, that ball's got to be a play right there. He's a good player. I think that he will becomes more comfortable, do well in that role.
Adams serving for the game here for Santa Barbara. Garcia has other ideas.
That's why they go and swing hard against that block. I really like his guys. Of course, he's new to us, but he's not a freshman. He is a junior transfer.
Angel Ruiz serving. Jensen setting up Wack and a nice block at the net. Oh, they kept it alive. Can't believe it. Jensen setting up Adams, and they're going to get the win. I thought the point was dead, and they said no. Point in game 1 goes to UCSB. 30-27. Let's take a break. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Hi. I was wondering if you wanted to go out maybe or something, if you had time.
I can tell by your excitable behavior and verbal faux pas that you have generalized anxiety with paranoid tendencies. It would never work.
Okay, thanks.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Dr. Larry Life has an unmatched desire for teaching and theater, and for 30 years he has rewarded his students at IPFW with his expertise and friendship.
We know all of the students. We know them by name. We're on a first-name basis with them. We follow their progress very carefully.
As chair of the theater department, Dr. Life knows the unparalleled advantages IPFW offers compared to larger universities.
In a larger program, very often a student, if they're an actor, doesn't get on stage until most times their senior year. Our students are on stage or designing their first, second year here.
Through 3 decades, Dr. Life has stayed focused on why he loves to teach.
Watching a student grow. Watching a student start at one place and 2 years later see them at another place.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
Going to college is something many people plan and save for, but in these days of tight budgets, that can be a scary proposition. And what about colleges and universities themselves? How do they face budget crunches? Is there anything the institutions or their alumni can do to get more funding? I'm Jeanette Liu, and I'll have the answers to these and other questions on this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access Channel 56.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Mike Maz and women's head volleyball coach Kelly Hartley with you. And game 1 goes to the visitors from UC Santa Barbara, 30-27. And hopefully we got our technical problem solved, Kelly. At least we can hear each other for once. Dons had the lead and let it get away.
Yeah, and you know it's real clear when you look at how many attack errors we had. We had 9. That's just too many. That's 9 points to give away, unearned, and a hitting percentage of 182 is not going to get it done tonight. So we need to pick it up. Even in the hitting percentage for UC Santa Barbara, the Gauchos are 267. That's not particularly high. So both teams committing some errors tonight. I'll bet Arnie Ball addressed that.
I would think so. If not now, definitely between games 2 and 3. Then IPFW in the light blue with white trim. Santa Barbara in the dark blue with white and gold trim. Santa Barbara ranked 10th in the country coming in here. They have a record of 1-3. And IPFW for them is the official season opener, though they did play some, I guess you call them exhibitions down in Puerto Rico last weekend.
Yeah, and they had some good training down there. I think they like the weather, that's for sure. Nice warm gym. Unlike the Gate Center.
IPFW will serve, and it'll be the freshman Angel Ruiz Rivera to do the honors. Whack. Wide on the kill attempt. First point of game 2 goes to IPFW.
And you know, my Spanish is not so good, but they tell me to keep Angel, the other Angel, separate from this Angel, or to call him Angel, which is, of course, Spanish. The J is an H from what I understand.
It'll be an experience. Santiago's block attempt goes wide, and we're tied at 1.
We did see maybe a little bit less aggressive a serve there from him, maybe because we have 0 aces in the first game and 6 errors, so maybe we're going to try and keep the ball in play and let our defense do the work.
Jensen setting up Adams. And evidently a net violation, I think, called an IPFW.
Yes. It was Javier.
2-1, Gauchos lead. Parra serving. Santiago
nice pass.
Setting up Garcia. He's long.
Hitters are just getting the ball behind him a little bit. That ball was a little bit maybe off the net for him, but I really like our outside hitters to recognize that and wait and adjust to that set.
Good digs on the part of both teams. Santiago to Ruiz. Are we supposed to call Ruiz Angel? Angel.
We're gonna
have fun
Spanish
this year.
Class, I think.
Ruiz will serve. We'll see how it goes. Adams with the kill for Santa Barbara. Gauchos lead 4-2. Justin Adams, 6'6" junior, as we said earlier, from Paradise Valley, Arizona. He will jump serve. Santiago Garcia. Point Dons.
Nice touch back there, Rivero. I like the way Javier swung high in the seam instead of hitting down in the block. Found the seam and swung high and deep.
Point goes to Santa Barbara.
That's a good effort by the freshman. Getting on the floor. Nice play with the freshman center for the Gauchos. The right hand, tipping the ball behind. Recognizing that our left back player was probably a little deep.
Nate Wack getting ready to serve. Gauchos up 2 and he serves it too long. Is it just being too pumped up with these? Because we've seen a lot of long serves tonight.
We've seen a lot of out serves, you're right. And yeah, adrenaline can certainly do that, and it's difficult to keep that in check. And then the other part of it is, if your philosophy is to serve tough, you're going to miss more.
Nice play by Rivera, Luis Rivera.
In regards to serving, one thing I don't want to say to my kids, at least, is serve easy. There are times when, in critical, when the ball needs to be in play, but if you give someone an easy serve, they're going to make you pay for that, especially these young men out here tonight.
Jensen setting up Bankston. Nice dig by Santiago. Rivera, and it's touched by Adam. Point Mastodons.
Nice set by Matt. Matt stepped in a couple times tonight. Did a nice job taking care of the ball. Setting it high outside and off the net for him.
Saw a good look at head coach Arnie Ball in his 23rd year here at IPFW. Service error by Garcia. We're tied at 6.
You know, and serving errors were a problem in Puerto Rico as well. So I'm sure this team recognizes that we need to get a handle on that quickly and not give the team other points. Make them earn them.
Good net play by Jensen.
Yeah, the Gauchos have done a nice job against that pipe, bringing 3 blockers in, knowing that Angel's back there, and he's a good option, even in system. Meaning when there's a good pass, they'll still go to Angel with the pipe.
Going a lift on Garcia, and Dons looked out of sync that time.
He wasn't in a position to set that ball. He probably just should have ran it down and tried to get it high for someone else to third ball, take it over the net.
8-6, Santa Barbara with the lead. Shesky. Good save. And it went off the fingertips of Garcia. Point Gauchos.
And Nate Wack has been their most effective hitter on the year. He's only a sophomore from the Midwest.
Those rarities, Midwestern are heading out west. Ruiz hits it into the net.
It's just another example of errors, unforced errors.
IPFW calls timeout, trailing 10-6. Let's take a break. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Engineering so I could get a better job without giving up the job I've already got.
Of course, getting a degree without going into debt was pretty high on my list too.
And I wanted the kind of education that I could only get in smaller classes with the professor's full attention.
IPFW offered me all of that. And the Purdue engineering degree is going to look pretty good on my resume.
Going to IPFW is the best choice I ever made.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
You may have noticed IPFW's basketball games are a lot more fun this year, thanks to our very own pep band. Hi, I'm Krista Markham.
I'm Matt Ehrman. And I'm Barry Sturgill, Stop Band Director. The Stop Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join.
This is a great chance to be a part of a new tradition at IPFW and meet lots of great people, too.
So dust off those trumpets, pull the flutes out of the attic, and join us at the next game.
Call 260-481-6166 for more information on how you can share your school spirit and IPFW pride.
Back at the Gates Center, play about to resume. IPFW trailing 10-6 in game 2. You going to say something, Kelly?
Well, I think we're going to have to make a change here quickly. I mean, obviously, we probably talked about something at the timeout, but if we don't get some momentum going and some energy out there, maybe even a sub in order. One thing I'd like to point out is Mitch Driesbach, an Indiana kid, did a great job in Puerto Rico when Matt was injured of coming in and displaying a lot of energy. Maybe a little goofy, but that's okay. Got him talking and excited. So we'll see if maybe he offers that from the bench tonight, sometime soon.
Bashevsky comes down with a good kill. The Dons were helped out by 2 digs that time, and they get the point. Close to within 2 at 10-8.
And can you see the difference in their enthusiasm after that long rally win? Arnie Ball must have lit a fire at that timeout.
Also, Sadar Sika came in the lineup, and they've got 2 points in a row. Trying for 3.
That's a nice dig.
Kill there by Parra at the net. That thing came down in a hurry.
Dennis talking to his teammates, settle down, get down on themselves.
Santiago setting up Bashevsky. Dug out by Jensen. Bashevsky gets it again. Makes it 11-9. That time they actually did some communicating between Ruiz, Rivera, and Bashevsky.
Right. And Matt's going to serve a floater here. We need this ball in play. Got a good block up there right now with Angel and Angel. I'm saying that right, Angel.
This is going to be fun this year, yes, calling him the other
We're
guys.
just going to call him Angel too, and he's not going to like that, but we'll at least know who we're talking about. And then Dennis, of course. 3 athletic people up there.
Well, we had a little conversation between our officials, Eric Buhlman and Dan Hauser, but
I think they wanted the overcall from our bench. IPFW just recognized that a couple times it appeared that UC Santa Barbara might have reached over. They're hoping for that call.
Now we're back about ready to go. Bashevsky serving. Dons trail by 2. Point Santa Barbara. Credit the net play. Gauchos found where we weren't.
Yeah, that's a tough call there to reach back or not for the blocker. See it go past your head. You want to reach back, but maybe there's a defender there, and sometimes you don't know.
Bankston, nice dig by Bashevsky. Santiago sets up Ruiz, and the Dons get the point.
Able to get it through. Block was up, in fact 2 on Angel, but they just weren't over the net, so Angel was able to get it through their hands and the tape.
12-10 score. Dons trail by 2. Rivera serving. Or Angel 2, I guess we want to call him. Double hit called on IPFW. Get a good look at Arnie Ball. Gauchos with the serve. Santiago going to set up Garcia. Nice dig there. Into the net. It's Parra. Dons get the point. Now Angel Ruiz will serve. Different hairdo for Angel.
Yeah, he's sporting the rose. Looks good on him.
Nice block by Sika. Nice Dave Black to kill.
That age and that athletic, anything looks good on you, you know?
Angel really came into his own last year, especially for the injuries to Matty Bashevsky and Jeff Patak.
He did. He gained some valuable experience, and he's talked about that in the paper today. A nice article about Angel.
Point Dons as Busham's kill attempt is wide. We're tied at 13.
Angel wasn't, until last year, used to being the go-to guy. And he had to step in that role last year, and it's probably good for him. Learn to talk, learn to be a leader.
Garcia. Say it's long, so it's point Santa Barbara. Gauchos lead 14-13. Justin Adams will serve once we get the ball back. Santiago for Sika. Dug out. Bankston brings it across. Oh, Angel Ruiz. Smooth and solid.
I'm not sure what they call that in their system. In our system, it's a blue. I think it's the same call for them, but they have several people that hit that real well, both Matt and Angel.
Good. Oh. That was a good block, but I guess not.
Yeah, again, it's from sitting here, it's hard to tell, but if your hands are up, that's just not enough.
Well, we've got the mandatory break here, 15-14.
I think now we're going to roll to a video of Arnie Ball talking about his long relationship with head coach Ken Preston from UC Santa Barbara.
Well, Santa Barbara and IPFW go back a long way together in regards to our relationship. Not only as competitors with one another, but certainly back when in 1988 we hosted the first NCAA tournament here in Fort Wayne, and Santa Barbara was part of that. And of course we had large crowds, partly because Tom Selleck was here. I don't want to break Coach Preston's bubble here, but I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that Tom Selleck was here, but certainly Santa Barbara was in town.
Well, you heard a little bit of Coach Arnie Ball talking about that relationship.
Yeah, and Coach Preston, I had an opportunity to work with him through the NCAA Yes Clinic. I think it was it might have been our first year here in '99, and he was a volunteer on that staff. We had probably about 400 kids run around the Gate Center for that free clinic in conjunction with the Final Four when we hosted that. But he was super to work with, just a class act.
Here we go. Santa Barbara to serve. It's Keith Bussum. Santiago setting up Garcia, and Bussum hits it the wrong way.
And there's that blue set again to that right side of the court, to the back court. Maybe they see something in terms of a block, a weak matchup over there, and they're trying to take advantage of that. They've been successful several times with that set, so let's see if they stay with it.
Garcia with the jump serve. Dink shot there. Well, I used to call it dink shot.
That's okay, my dad still calls it the dink shot. Everybody knows what you mean when you say dink, too.
Caught us off guard. We trail 16-15.
I'd be on my heels also the way the guys hit this ball. It's hard to run down something off speed.
Good solid kill by Bankston there. And I don't know what they're changing, but the speed or something, but the last 2 points, we just not been in position.
Well, the overpass, obviously that usually turns to a point for the other team very quickly.
Good play there by Matty Brzezinski. Makes it 17-16 our score, Santa Barbara on top.
And running Matt on something, on a faster tempo set, I've seen him do this a couple times tonight. Matt hits that well.
Sika serving.
And of course, more importantly, the block's not quite ready.
Net violation on IPFW. Golden chance to tie this game goes by the boards. Now IPFW trails by 2. Dane Jensen, 6'5" freshman center, serving. Good block by Parra. It looked like he just read that all the way.
Yeah, it was somewhat obvious, and a good serve there, right to Angel, trying to make him work to pass the ball and then try to run something quickly, which is difficult to do.
Santiago
right back to him, though.
For Ruiz in this dugout. Bellman with the save. Let's see if we can convert it. Luis Rivera gets it where they let.
Well, I sure like a couple things about that play. That first ball over, they went, was recognized, they went right back to Angel. And Dennis gave his no-hitter a chance to redeem himself after the first time getting blocked there. And Angel only had one block on him. So you have to go to him. That's the correct set.
Block unsuccessful by the Dons. Adams would get credit for the kill, I believe, and it's 20-17 Santa Barbara.
Again, we're there. All three blockers, in fact, on the left side, just not over the net. Ball rolled down in front of us.
Bashesky.
That was a real, what we call, heavy ball.
Oh, it's great to see Maddie back on the court. I remember last year in the season opener, Brian Perrott and I right in front of us when he tore that knee out. A lot of hard work to get him back here where he's at now.
Yeah, he worked so hard over the summer. Of course, the whole team did. You know, if you were in the Date Center this summer, the chances are you saw someone from the men's volleyball team in the gym, in the weight room. That's why some of them went from looking like swimmers to more like football players a little bit. Dennis, in particular, has gotten much stronger.
See if they can control it. Luis de Garcia. Point IPFW. Net violation at Santa Barbara. We're tied at 20.
I like her composure during those long rallies. Good digs. Someone stepping in and setting the ball out of system.
Whack back in the lineup for Santa Barbara. Luis Rivera serving for the Dons. Ooh, short set that time. Parra knew what to do with it.
Well, we just weren't quite in front of it on time. We were a little late getting there, and the center must have recognized that, and it was a good set, good choice. But get it back right now. Good pass.
Oh, Dennis Santiago. Oh, they said it was wide. Good idea, just a wee bit wide.
It's a great idea.
Makes it 22-20.
Again, that left-handed setter with his front row, having that offensive weapon in your setters is very valuable, and he's so athletic.
Garcia. Oh, good save by Santa Barbara. Santiago. Oh, a lift by Santiago. Makes it 23-20, and IPFW calls timeout. Learn more about Mastodon sports in season by tuning into Mastodon Spotlight each Friday evening and Wednesday evening as well here in College 56. The hour starts off with yours truly, Mike Miles, reviewing the week's sports activities. We look at game footage and talk with players and coaches. That's Mastodon Spotlight Wednesday and Friday evenings at 9 o'clock right here on College 56. Well, we're down 23-20, Kelly. You can't fall too much farther behind in this game.
No, in rally scoring, well, yeah, in rally scoring at any point in the game, you can't. Although, you know, I'm going to contradict myself right now because the other thing about rally scoring is you can get a couple quick points and you're back in it. So it can turn around in a hurry too. You're right, as we approach 30 points, we need to get things together here.
Good look at some of the fans here in attendance tonight.
Our offense has been more effective just in the last 10 or so points. We came out with some unforced errors again, but just in the last 10 points, it looks like we're getting back into the swing of things. Getting another.
Well, we're about ready to go. Alejandro Parra will serve for Santa Barbara. We're up by 3. Santiago for Garcia. Point Dons.
And that's a great shot. That's what we call a tool. He sees 4 hands up in his face, but understands the angle and just bounces it off that angle out of bounds, and that's a point. It's just as good as bouncing the ball over the net in front of the defense. We have a free ball here. Good free ball, though.
Take advantage of it. Ruiz. Point Dons.
Again, another tool resulting in a point. Good
look at a replay here. And that's going to cause Santa Barbara to call timeout. Well, we've got the lead now to 1.
Yeah, and the last 2 points, kills off of the blocker's hands. And that last point there, Angel number 2, forgive me, stepped in and set that ball. So we've done some nice things, showed good patience, and come up with those points.
Well, like you alluded to earlier, now coming out of a timeout, it's even more important now to win this next point, tie it up rather than go down 2 and give up serve.
Yeah, when we forced UC Santa Barbara, the Gauchos called a timeout. The worst thing possible right now, of course, is to miss the serve. That would be a cardinal sin. So we need the ball in play, a good hard serve in play, and to capitalize on this momentum that we now have.
Players are going back on the court. Angel number 1, Angel Ruiz, will serve for the Volleyball. Here we go. Jensen for Adams.
And again, the block there just didn't penetrate far enough over or space between their arms and the net. Ball rolls down in front. But Sudar, freshman middle is really coming along nicely. His skills are very, very good.
Adams with the jump serve. Santiago for Garcia. Nice kill, Javier Garcia.
Nice. And he's a new player for us, and like we said earlier, a transfer from Juniata College in Pennsylvania. And I really like what he brings to this team. He certainly handles the ball well.
That point goes to Santa Barbara. They're up 25-23.
Let's see if they pass Angel right now. Well, both of them are back here, so the chances are pretty good. But I'm talking about. No, they go right at Angel.
Bashevsky. That time Maddie was on the left side before he was on the right.
Yeah, they might think that the weaker blocker's on this side and got a good matchup for Matt.
Jensen setting up Black. Here comes right over our heads. Gauchos lead by 2, 26-24. In game 2, they won game 1, 30-27.
If they serve the left side of the court here where Angel is because he's front row. No, Angel Ruiz.
Point Dons. Substitution, Staley going to come in for Sika.
And again, Ryan in this serving specialist role, he has a wicked jump serve. We just need him to become more comfortable and confident in this role because he can really help this team. He's athletic, has good serve, plays good defense, got the ball in play that time.
Bangston with a good kill from Santa Barbara. Dane Jensen, 6'5", freshman center. I know you mentioned earlier, but we want to talk a little bit more about it. Freshman centers. Ruiz with the dig.
Well, we had to think about that one. Didn't like the way the ball came out of Dennis's hand at that time. I think probably that he held on to it maybe a little too long for his liking.
Makes it 28-25.
Nice pass.
Angel 2. And they give the point to Santa Barbara. They hit the palm, perhaps?
Yes, it hit the antenna. The ball is not allowed to touch the antenna. This pass inside of the antenna and is not allowed to touch it.
Game point for the Gauchos. Nice dig. But the Dons going to get the point for 4 hits. And it at least for the moment, to stay alive.
It appeared that number 14 for the Gauchos, Alorando, did not see the ball. He went up to do a joust, but the ball was behind him.
Jensen setting up Bankston. And Ruiz can't save it. Point in game 2 goes to UCSB, 30-26. So the Gauchos have won games 1 and 2. We'll see what happens in game 3. Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne presents Spotlight on IPFW. An up-close look at some of the hidden treasures on our campus. Our spotlight today is shining brightly on the Center for Reptile and Amphibian Conservation and Management, directed by Professor Bruce Kingsbury.
This is something most people will never see.
This is a timber rattlesnake. This is our biggest poisonous snake, but it is also relatively uncommon, and it occurs in some of the forested hills of southern Indiana. This is a male, so this is a smallish male. They get quite a bit bigger than this.
Biology professor and herpetologist Bruce Kingsbury never outgrew his childhood love of creepy crawly things and has made the study of endangered reptiles and amphibians in the Midwest his career focus. That interest led him to want to start some sort of conservation center on campus. A discussion with Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs Susan Hanna resulted in him submitting a proposal for what is now one of several centers of excellence at IPFW, the Center for Reptile and Amphibian Conservation and Management, otherwise known as the HERP Center. The mission of the HERP Center is to promote the conservation and understanding of reptiles and amphibians through research, education, and outreach.
We conduct a variety of research projects on species that are endangered at some level in the Midwest, and a lot of times what we're doing is finding out about their basic ecology, what their habitat needs are, how they move around, what sort of impacts there are in terms of human activity, and then we work with agencies such as the Fish and Wildlife Service or the Department of Natural Resources to try to figure out what might be done a little bit differently to help protect those animals.
The main focus of the HERP Center's research is on endangered reptiles of the Midwest. Studies have been conducted on many species of turtles, frogs, toads, salamanders, and snakes. Today, we're focusing on the snakes. We've already seen a timber rattlesnake, which is generally found in south-central Indiana in the Bloomington area. Now it's time for another species of rattlesnake, the eastern Massasauga, which is found in northern Indiana.
Massasauga lives in wetlands which are kind of mucky and hard to walk through, and not that many people go out in them, and they're also rare, and so we don't see them very often. Even those of us who study them struggle to find them. We have a bias that benefits us in terms of finding them, and that we use radio telemetry to track them around. This not only allows us to find the same animal over and over again for years at a time, it also leads us to other individuals. With a snake, we definitely have some problems. There isn't much of a neck, and in fact, if you did put something on the outside of the snake, they would have trouble crawling around because they are reliant on their slender body form to get around the way they do. And because of that, we place the transmitters internally in the snake. We actually do a surgical operation, and the antenna runs up underneath the skin, and when we're done, you can't tell that the transmitter's in there.
In addition to doing research on endangered species, the HERP Center also does projects which involve GIS, or Geographic Information Systems. GIS provides a computer-based multi-layered picture of an area of interest, which allows an investigator to examine how different spatial features interact. As an example, here's an aerial photograph of a specific area. Another layer shows the different kinds of habitat at the site, and the final layer shows the location of animals found there. Kingsbury says having this information on the computer helps researchers figure out what's going on across the landscape. One of the things the center is asked to track is pollution.
There's different kinds of pollution. There's point source pollution and there's non-point source pollution. And what we're helping these agencies with is methods for visualizing the non-point source pollution.
What is non-point source solution?
That's pollution where you, like runoff from agricultural fields or something like that, where you don't have a pipe or something like that, where you can go there and say, yeah, this is where this pollutant is coming from. In fact, it's distributed across an entire watershed, and it's only by looking at the whole thing that you can actually see where the problem is.
The center also maintains a website at herpcenter.ipfw.edu, which is filled with educational and outreach information.
We as a public should care about wildlife and about doing what we can to protect it. And if we do the work to figure out how to protect things, we often find that it doesn't take that much of an effort on our part to protect these kinds of animals. Often it's just minor adjustments in terms of timing or in terms of land use, and that we can largely go about our business. A lot of people are afraid of snakes, and typically that's really unfounded. And it could be because of some experience that they had when they were younger. It could be because of some biblical implications of what snakes are or what they represent. And a lot of times it's because snakes are a little bit unpredictable and strange looking because they have no legs, and what is strange to us might also make us afraid. But most of the snakes, in fact, in terms of a count of snakes, I'd say almost all snakes are totally harmless, and that if anything they might bite you if you pick them up. But even that would be, I'd rather get a snake bite than a scraped knee or something like that. And with regard to the poisonous snakes, what we have found, and that what others have found as well, is that these snakes are not aggressive, and in fact, unless you catch them out in the open, they'll do everything that they can to stay hidden. And you can stand next to them, you can step over them, you can even bump them, and they'll hold still and they'll just hope that you don't notice them. They're very intent on staying hidden, and they would rather just have you keep going the way you were going and not mess with you than vice versa.
And for Kingsbury, the best part will always be working with the creepy crawlies.
Going to college is something many people plan and save for, but in these days of tight budgets, that can be a scary proposition. And what about colleges and universities themselves? How do they face budget crunches? Is there anything the institutions or their alumni can do to get more funding? I'm Jeanette Liu, and I'll have the answers to these and other questions on this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access Channel 56.
Dr. Hermine Van Nuys is a professor who teaches her English literature classes with passion to inspire her students.
I'm very passionate about what I teach. I love the literature I teach, and I'm very proud of the faculty in my department.
Her 30 years of dedication to IPFW has earned her much respect on the collegiate level.
We offer really a wonderful English major, I think, with a number of opportunities. There really is much more, I think, probably a personal relationship established in our classes because they tend to be smaller.
Because of her experience, Dr. Van Nuys recognizes IPFW's advantages over other universities.
Students here can come to our offices. They will be seen by us. We speak to them, which is the ideal way, I think, to teach.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
Hi. I was wondering if you wanted to go out maybe or something, if you had time.
I can tell by your excitable behavior and verbal faux pas that you have generalized anxiety with paranoid tendencies. It would never work.
Okay, thanks.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hillgate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. I'm Mike Maas and Kelly Hartley with you, and in the opening match of the men's volleyball season so far, set one went to the visitors, UCSB, 30-27, and the Gauchos won game two as well, 30-26. Obviously, Kelly, there were some words of wisdom in the IPFW locker room.
Yeah, but I think right now, looking at this team, we do some really good things and just aren't able to sustain high-level play without errors for long periods, and that's going to hurt us. We could point to a lot of reasons, but we have one senior on the floor, and that jumps out at me.
Any particular numbers in the first two sets?
Well, again, our hitting percentage better in 250, but that's just not going to get it done. I find it strange that we have 0 aces, 2-7 errors. That's not a ratio that's going to win matches either.
Okay, we're about ready to go.
But again, I just would like to emphasize that, with one senior on the court, at times it just looks like we're young and a little tentative and not able to come back after we make a mistake. And then that leads to 2 and 3 mistakes, and here we are, two games down.
Gauchos are going to serve first here to start game 3. So many times last year, I know in matches we had, if you're down 2-0, you've got your backs are to the wall and see how they come out with fire or not. Langston with a dig, and nice at the net work. Bashevsky and Angel Ruiz, the Dons get the first point.
Well, without question, we have the ability to beat this number 10 UC Santa Barbara team. We have the physical ability to do that. Do we have the experience, the composure? I don't know. Dennis, our setter, very athletic, but is a sophomore, so he's young. We have right in the front row right now our only senior, Angel Ruiz, and then Angel Ruiz Rivera is a freshman. So we just have very young players in key positions.
Bashevsky saves it.
Freshman.
Goes wide, point to Santa Barbara. It's now 2-1 IPFW.
Playing what Sudar's doing right now, the freshman from Turkey, and a very intelligent player, very skilled, but adjusting to this level of play has to be a challenge for a freshman.
Santiago, I love it, Dennis. The no-look shot.
Well, and there's that athleticism I was talking about. He just goes up and so quick throws that ball down. Very deceptive. There's nothing you can do about that.
Angel 2, otherwise known as Angel Ruiz Rivera, serving. Jensen. Bellman's block went wide, and it's 3-2 IPFW. Justin Adams will be serving. Santiago Garcia. Point, Volleyball.
He's done some nice things tonight too. Again, his first time wearing the blue jersey in this gym, so he's a junior, but it has to be difficult playing with new teammates, for a new coach, new friends in the stands. I think his family's here from Puerto Rico this weekend.
They gotta be cold, that's for sure. Point,
we did offer to loan a lot of coats to our visitors from Puerto Rico.
Substitution for Santa Barbara. Keith Bussum coming in, and he replaces Nate Wack.
He might need a break. He's had his fair share of swings tonight, 16.
Ruiz with a jump serve. Point Dons. Kennedy just couldn't quite get control of it.
Well, that set was just a little bit past him. Ideally you want to set that ball back to your middle's hand.
Santa Barbara calls timeout, trailing 6-2. Let's take a break as well. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
So I could get a better job without giving up the job I've already got.
Of course, getting a degree without going into debt was pretty high on my list too.
And I wanted the kind of education that I could only get in smaller classes with the professor's full attention.
IPFW offered me all of that. And the Purdue engineering degree is going to look pretty good on my resume.
Going to IPFW is the best choice I ever made.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
You may have noticed IPFW's basketball games are a lot more fun this year, thanks to our very own pep band. Hi, I'm Krista Markham.
I'm Matt Ehrman.
And I'm Barry Sturgill, Stop Band Director. The Stop Band is looking for more members and we want you to join.
This is a great chance to be a part of a new tradition at IPFW and meet lots of great people too.
So dust off those jumpers, pull the flutes out of the attic, and join us at the next game.
Call 260-481-6166 for more information on how you can share your school spirit and IPFW pride.
Back at the Gates Center, Game 3 of our best-of-5 match. Volleyball lead 6-2. They trail in the match 2-0. Jensen for Kennedy, and it's blocked at the net. Garcia, I think, gets credit for it.
Well, Garcia and Sudar will get credit for that block. We had two blockers up against that first tempo attack of the Gauchos. Hands over the net strong. Four new players.
7-2 Dons. Jensen pulls him and it's blocked again.
And we had the triple block on that play. And again, Dennis's athleticism, just offensively as a blocker, he's just so good in the front row.
And he's keeping his emotions intact.
Well, he's pretty excited after that play, but that's okay.
That time the point goes to Gauchos. I guess what I was referring to, and I think you remember watching a lot of the matches last year, Dennis lived and died literally with every point.
Yes, he wears his emotions on his sleeve. He's very competitive. And in your setter, we do need just a little bit more consistency. That was a great play by Dennis to slow that ball down.
Again, he's a setter by trade, but a killer by night.
And now we need him to calm down. We talked about those emotions. Let's calm down and get a good serve. It's a good float.
Nice dig.
Great dig.
And Maddie gets the kill. Maddie Bashesky. You know, we're up 10-3 now in this game, or set, I should say. We're down 2-0 in the match. It's natural letdown by Santa Barbara's part, being up 2-0?
Yeah, it's not unusual to see a team up 2 games to come out in game 3 and be just, not quite as sharp. Mentally, it's challenging to come out, I think, when you're up 2 games. And of course, IPFW is fighting to hang on.
Michael Kennedy getting ready to serve for Santa Barbara. They trail 10-4. Angel number 1 with the kill.
Yeah, Archangel hits that pipe so well. The block was a little bit late that time, so we had a couple seams to choose from. I mean, by seams, it's areas between the block to put the ball. If the block is closed, it makes it more difficult, of course.
Jensen, Bankston, nice dig by Angel 2. That time it's put away by Parra.
Yeah, that choice of Dennis is right there. I'm not sure about that. That's a low percentage set, or at least a low percentage shot for his hitter, Matt, behind him. Probably should just went outside and kept it off the net, keep the ball in play.
Sika hit it where they weren't that time.
And the block touched it just enough to deflect it over the defense. It's a good shot.
We saw a replay of an earlier point from Dennis Santiago there. Sika, another freshman from Turkey, serving. Adams, and it's blocked at the net. Krzyzewski and Angel 1. 13-5 the score. Volleyball's on top.
And the ball set that high outside, we're just going to get Matt and Archangel there every time. It's going to be very difficult for the Gauchos to get anything past those two. That high of a set.
Bankston will get credit for the kill. Bounced it off of Santiago. Makes it 13-6. Bankston, a 6'6" senior, and I don't dare try to pronounce the name of the city in Sweden he's from.
Well, He's had quite a night here tonight.
Good play that time. Matt Bashevsky serving. Good recovery there by Angel 1. Angel 2 puts it away. And we've got the mandatory break. 15-6 our score. Volleyball's on top.
Well, Archangel did an excellent job of recognizing something off-speed was coming, pulling his hands down quickly and pursuing that ball.
You can do more than just sit on the sidelines. You can participate in the excitement of Mastodon athletics by joining the Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons is IPFW's official athletic booster organization. Members enjoy priority seating at IPFW sports events, visits by the coaches, and food and refreshments in the hospitality room. For more information about the Royal Dons, call 260-481-6643. You can write to the Royal Dons Club, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. Or you can go on the website, IPFW website, at www.ipfw.edu/athletics. And again, your comment again, Kelly, on that last point.
I don't remember what it was, and that's not unusual for me. So, moving on, Anders Bengston, number 22 for the Gauchos, having just a fabulous night. I think he might be, I'm checking, he's one of the only hitters without an error on the night. But hitting .389, but very effective.
Back to the action. Dig by Garcia. Santiago sets it for Angel 1. Bengston saves it for the Gauchos. Bashevsky to Santiago. Point, Volleyball. Substitution for Santa Barbara. Bart Kowalski, 6-foot freshman, will come in for Jensen. And Matthew, I believe it's pronounced Bulk, 6'6" sophomore from Lafayette, California.
Belk, actually, Coach Preston tells me.
He's in the lineup as well. And he comes out with a kill.
That's a good start, isn't it?
If you're a Santa Barbara fan. Makes the score 16-7.
Well, we're seeing the other freshman setter. There are two freshman setters. That has to make practice very interesting.
Angel 2.
This ball is playable, and he played it right. Now he has to go back through the antennas, and it did.
Santiago for Angel 1 in this dugout. Bussum, and he gets the point. No, they're going to say it's long.
It's out.
The Gauchos thought that maybe Bellman touched it, but
those line judges have a pretty good view. Sometimes I question them. I have to remember that they can see better than me, especially from where I'm sitting now.
Angel 2 with the serve. The ball was touched after being hit by Belk. So Gauchos will get the point. And they cut the lead to 9 at 17-8. Matthew Belk will now serve. Santiago for Garcia, and it's long. Two points in a row for the Gauchos.
Okay, we had such momentum going out early in this game. I hope that error doesn't, distinguish it. We need to keep that going. Did I say distinguishment?
Service error into the net.
That helps. That helps a lot.
At least temporarily stops the Santa Barbara momentum.
Well, it gives us a point and the opportunity to play defense and score. A real point.
Angel Ruiz, number 1, serving. Santiago with the dig. Bashevsky for Garcia. Nice play at the net by Kennedy.
Yeah, he was able to stay in the air and just throw that back.
Doesn't hurt being 6'7" with long arms either.
Strong hands, directing the ball to the middle of the court.
Bosom, service ace.
There haven't been too many of those tonight. The men's game, you usually see more aces.
It's now 18-11. Santiago for Garcia. Good block at the net. Kennedy blocked again. And with the score now 18-12, Arnie Ball decides to call a timeout. So the lead's cut down to 6. What do you think Coach will say?
Well, I'm sure he's saying something loudly right now. He's very happy. And I'm going to guess that maybe with some of Dennis's choices, we've talked about that emotion that Dennis has, and it's so raw. But at times, and maybe because he's so athletic, he is capable of doing some, very fancy athletic things. But recognizing when you need to do something high percentage and just get the ball up to a hitter or high outside instead of when you're 3 meters off the net, pushing it towards the net against a big block, that's dangerous. So I might be addressing that right now.
Again, this is set number 3, a best of 5. Volleyball trailed 2 sets to none. They lost set 1, 30-27. They lost set 2, 30-26. So they're going to win this match. They can't lose anymore. They'd love to get into a 5th set up to 15. But that's a long ways off. Keith Bussum getting ready to serve for Santa Barbara. Santiago for Angel 1. Kennedy and Bankston tag team for that block. 4 points in a row now scored by the Gauchos. Garcia with a nice kill.
And that's a real good choice right there. You have number 4, the freshman.
Kowalski?
Bart Kowalski. And, his size is probably a detriment to his team, and that's a good set making Javier hit against him. It's a matchup that is our advantage.
Kennedy comes back with a kill for Santa Barbara, and he will now serve with his team trailing 19-14. And you know what it's like to have a short setter.
Me? The shortest setter in the country? Yeah, but I'll take a short setter who does other things like play defense and work your tail off and those sort of things. But you're right, we are used to being on the other side of that. Teams will try and take it to a small setter, and we'll see if, especially right now we have Angel Rivera. That's quite a mismatch.
I'm curious, Kelly. You have a 6'6" setter, you take him out and send in a 6-foot setter, just for experience, maybe?
Well, it's early, and maybe Coach Preston hasn't decided, who the starting setter really is yet. It's early, and he has 2 young setters, and giving them both an opportunity.
Gauchos close it to 5 at 20-15. Kowalski serving.
We found out that Kowalski has an effective serve, forcing the overpass and a quick point for the Gauchos.
Belk, the other substitution, made it pay too. He hammered that ball home. A little uneasiness on the part of IPFW fans. The lead down to 4. Oh, nice play there. Santiago set it.
Started a nice job getting in front of Dennis on that one, recognizing he was somewhat trapped and just one hand get it back to him.
Big point for the Dons. It's now 21-16. Sika to serve.
And Coach Preston did tell me before the match that they really need to do some experimenting, getting some new people, different people in the match, and an opportunity. So that could be what that's about.
Parra put that ball away for Santa Barbara. Lead again down to 4, 21-17. Bankston serving. Angel number 2 that's dug out. Santiago for Bashevsky, and Maddie Bashevsky puts it home. Almost thought for a second there might be 4 hits by Santa Barbara that time. I didn't count right.
Well, to get us a calculator over here, huh? Add those 1, 2, 3s up.
Belk a little bit. I guess it was touched. I didn't see the touch. But
it's really difficult to see those touches unless you're standing at the net, on the net, or one of the line judges often can see them. Don't argue with them.
Santiago for Bashevsky. We get a break.
See, I liked what Dennis did there. He just got that ball up and high and let Matt go up and do the work instead of trying to push the ball outside to the other side of the court or do something a little fancier with it. They're out of system. You know, they just needed the ball up and up to the swing.
Angel number 2 with the serve. Bussum dug out by Bellman. Net violation, Santa Barbara, point IPFW. Well, the lead up to 6 again at 24-18. Angel Ruiz Rivera. Bankston gets it over. Let's see what the Dons can do. Angel 1 puts it away. Santa Barbara calls timeout if we look at a replay.
And you can see that's earlier.
That was Bashevsky earlier.
But the last point, Clark Angel scoring on that quick ball in the middle. Again, that looked like their middle blocker was just over to the right taking their cross-court shot. Kennedy was over to the right, and then their left side was a little bit late getting over to front where he hit the ball. So Angel, he's just been getting some good looks tonight.
Again, you get a good look at Ernie Ball. We said earlier, I'm not sure about that look, but you're number 23.
My office is right next to Ernie, so I get as many looks as I want. And when he shuts the door, I know he's had enough. He'll love that I had no audio, or at least I had no audio, nor could you hear me for that first 20 points of that first game. I'm sure he wishes he had a mic and an on-off button for me much of the day.
Well,
so it finally came true and he couldn't enjoy it.
I don't know about that.
Oh, ask him.
Here we go. Service error by Luis Rivera. Stops the IPFW run and makes the score 25-19. Santa Barbara with the serve will be Matthew Belk with the headband. And he's long on his serve.
Yeah, but that's definitely don't want 2 in a row. It's one of those sins, serving sins after timeout, 2 in a row. Your team had missed several serves. You have to get that ball in. Right now, that's a good serve.
Kennedy, nice dig by Angel 2. Bashevsky dug out by Santa Barbara. Maddie tries it again and puts it home. What's the old adage? If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah, and he's moving the ball around. Matt has excellent ball control offensively. He has the ability to hit cross his body, cross court, and turn and hit line. He just must saw that was open.
Ruiz serving. Kennedy. Net violation by Santa Barbara. It's now 28-19. And the home fans are loving it.
And our block did a great job of getting in front of the middle that time, slowing that ball down. Even if there was no net violation, we just slowed that ball down enough for our backcourt diggers to run it down, transition out of it.
Kennedy. Dons couldn't save it. Point Gauchos. Angel 1 gave it a try, but thank God he didn't get hurt.
Substitution.
Well, we've got another freshman, Mike Daga. I believe it's pronounced Daga. 6'6" freshman from Columbus, Ohio.
Coach Ball is real happy with his progress. Says he really works hard and wants to be good, and that's just so much of it. Very athletic.
Get the point.
You really understand quite a basketball player too, Mike.
Game point. IPFW fans on their feet. It is Santiago to serve. And a service error.
Well, we're hitting all the sins of serving tonight. The other one is game point, and certainly match point, but don't want to miss on game point either.
And there's a case, Dennis, we've had problems serving in the past. For most of this match, he was just serving conventional. Tried to go with the jump serve that time and burned him. Sakar on the set from Santiago, and IPFW wins game 3, 30-21. They're back in this match. They now trail 2 sets to 1. Big win for the Dons. They win game set number 3, 30-21. I believe it's time for a break. We'll take a break. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales. You're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Going to college is something many people plan and save for, but in these days of tight budgets, that can be a scary proposition. And what about colleges and universities themselves? How do they face budget crunches? Is there anything the institutions or their alumni can do to get more funding? I'm Jeanette Liu, and I'll have the answers to these and other questions on this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access Channel 56.
You may have noticed IPFW's basketball games are a lot more fun this year, thanks to our very own pep band. Hi, I'm Krista Markham.
I'm Matt Ehrman.
And I'm Barry Sturgill, Stop Band Director. The Stop Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join.
This is a great chance to be a part of a new tradition at IPFW and meet lots of great people too.
So dust off those trumpets, pull the flutes out of the attic, and join us at the next game.
Call 260-481-6166 for more information on how you can share your school spirit and IPFW pride.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Mike Miles and Kelly Hartley with you, and IPFW came out of that break at the end of set number 2, took the lead, and they won it 30-21.
Well, and I'm going to state the obvious here. Our hitting percentage was over 43%, and theirs was under 100. So that's how much that means. Just not making those unforced errors and making other teams earn it. Also, though, I'd like to point out we've done an excellent job of containing number 7, Nate Wack, who coming in tonight had been their most effective hitter. But tonight, he just hasn't. He's made some errors. We've blocked him a few times. But coming off the bench for them strong, Matt Belk, 5 kills just in that third game there. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach Preston stays with them, and he does.
I think IPFW, is going to serve to start 4th set.
And Dane Jensen, the other freshman setter for the Gauchos, is back in.
Yep. You got Angel 1, number 12, Angel Ruiz, Angel 2, Angel Ruiz Rivera. You got Sakar, you got Matty Pashesky, Dennis Santiago, and Javier Garcia.
No changes.
On the court for IPFW. Now, can IPFW maintain that momentum?
Well, we'll find out, won't we? And again, like I said earlier, athletically, our ability, we're right there. We can compete with probably anybody in the country. We have to find out if we're mentally up to the task.
Garcia serves to start the fourth set. Bankston hammers it home for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, Anders has had a nice night tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, mentioned earlier, no errors tonight. 8 kills and no errors.
Yeah, 38% he's hitting. I'll take that.
Michael Kennedy serving. Santiago to Sakar. Nice dig that time. Shesky going to set up Angel 2. And they're saying it's long.
A little long. It's a good swing. Now what they have to be thinking and telling one another, we did things right there. It was a little long, tough break. Let's get this one. Now hang our heads and let that one turn into a couple.
Shesky gets it right there. Big point for the Volleyball. You don't want to fall behind 3-0.
Well, if IPFW could just cut down on the strings of points, giving up one here and there, or trading side outs for a while, it's not going to win the match, but the strings of 3 points at a time makes it tough.
Bankston gets the kill.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that went either. It looked like our blockers were over there, and he was able to hit the ball line hard.
Nullifies a good dig by Garcia. Dane Jensen, the 6'5" freshman setter, serving for the Gauchos. Santiago to Angel number 2. Luis Rivera puts it away.
I wonder if Coach Preston in Game 3 gave some other kids, like Mark Walski, an opportunity and rested Dane, anticipating this might be a long night.
Bashesky serving. Jensen, Bankston. Nick Bellman and Libero just couldn't get to it.
He has just been on fire, or, as my predecessor, Ryan Rock, and I know why he's Rock, Perot, would say, in fuego. I've heard him say that. Meaning on fire. I think in some other
Matt Bashesky was another kill. Sometime this season, Kayla, you got to tell us how Ryan got that nickname. Because for 3 years I tried getting him to tell me, he never would.
Not only do I know, I saw how he got that nickname. My own eyes.
Belk with a kill.
And again, Belk has come in Game 3, stayed in the match, and he's been super effective. He's very fired up.
He's got 6 kills already. Did you say he didn't come into set number 3 or game number 3?
I think about midway through.
Santiago for Garcia. Good dig. Jensen for Bankston and blocked by Angel number 1.
Had a pipe, but all 3 of our blockers got in there, penetrated. So all 3 of them will get credit for that.
5-4 our score. Santa Barbara leads. IPFW's Angel Ruiz with the serve. Whack. And it's touched by IPFW, so the Gauchos get the point.
And that's a nice play by Nate Wack to see the block, recognize the ball is tight, and just push it off of the blocker.
Matthew Belk. Jump serve. Santiago. Dennis loves to do that.
I think the fans like him to do that.
The key is to do it at the right time. Whack. Ruiz blocks it. Or digs it, I should say. Santiago for Bashesky, and then he puts the ball. The crowd is getting more into it. We're tied at 6.
Well, they have reason.
Conventional serve by Santiago that time.
Good effort.
4 hits, but good effort.
Matt, is it me or is Matt hitting the ball really hard?
He's been looking forward to this season. Talked to him a little bit during the summer.
Well, physically, obviously, being injured is no fun. But psychologically, it's really treacherous. You know, you can get caught into, I feel sorry for myself or whatever, but he was determined to rehab and get back on the court strong this year.
We're tied at 7. Javier Garcia to serve. Jensen. Volleyball's get the point and they'll take an 8-7 lead.
And there it is. Anders Bengtson's first hitting error of the night.
Garcia, another one of the many players from Puerto Rico. Great pipeline down there. Good digs. Again by Santiago. Jensen for Belk. And it's long. Oh, they say it's touched.
But good defensive effort by the Dons. And again, I talk so much about Dennis's athletic ability, but he's just so quick. I mean, that's just fast hands and reaction.
It's almost like a hockey goalie sometimes, too.
Just not, like a lot of sports, you can transfer those skills. I'm sure he'd be good at whatever he tried. In fact, he told me he wanted to play ice hockey.
Point, Valley Dons.
Sure how Coach Ball would feel about seeing him on skates anytime soon.
Yeah, let him play between the pipes and even with the first baseman's mitt on or goalie glove on. See how he does there. Just hope he has a mask and all kinds of other protection. Jensen setting up Black. And a point is IPFW's. Santa Barbara not happy with that call.
Well, the set was low for Waite to get that ball over the net. I don't know if the ball was above the net when he made contact with it, and certainly he didn't hit it up, so. That was probably a good call, Eric.
Bankston hammers that one home. Boy, he was determined that time.
Extremely fast arm. We talk about these players sometimes getting in the weight room and getting stronger. That is important. But really what's important is how fast you can swing your arm, how much arm speed you can generate.
Dayton Jensen serving. Santiago for Angel number 1, and it's wide. Nice idea, just bad execution.
Well, yeah, and it was a good choice. I believe he had one-on-one that time, meaning one blocker up against him, and Archangel is very capable of taking one blocker.
We're tied at 10. Angel number 2. Boy, he has a lot of power. Jensen, Bankston, dug out by Bashevsky. Santiago for Bashevsky, and then he puts it home. And it's nice seeing the maturation process between Dennis Santiago and Matt Bashevsky. Because they only played for 4 games together last year.
Oh, you mean their relationship?
Point for Santa Barbara there as it deflected off Santiago's hands.
Well, I just can't imagine that any of these young men would have a problem with having a good relationship because they're all so nice. I did get a chance to spend some time with them individually in Puerto Rico, and you're talking about a bunch of really nice young men.
Point IPFW. Matt Bashevsky get credit for that kill. 13-11 our score. IPFW with the lead here. Set number 4. They trail the match 2-1. Ridley Chandra in the background. Agent number 2 serving. Belk hits it long.
Coach Preston certainly wants a touch. I didn't see it. It did come off. I didn't know if it came off his hand funny, and that can happen, or a block. But that's what our line judges are there for, and I'm sure they...
Service error that time by Angel Ruiz Rivera. Stops the IPFW run. Makes the score 14-12. Volley Downs by 2. Parra with the serve. Santiago for Ruiz.
Coach Ball didn't like that set.
Dodge get the point. And we come to the mandatory 15-point break. Score, IPFW 15, Santa Barbara 12. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
IPFW's basketball games are a lot more fun this year, thanks to our very own pep band. Hi, I'm Krista Markham.
I'm Matt Ehrman.
And I'm Barry Sturgill, Stop Band Director. The Stop Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join.
This is a great chance to be a part of a new tradition at IPFW and meet lots of great people too.
So dust off those trumpets, pull the flutes out of the attic, and join us at the next game.
Call 260-481-6166 for more information on how you can share your school spirit and IPFW pride.
I really wanted to go for an Indiana University business degree.
But with housing and tuition, it really adds up, and the money just wasn't there to go away to college.
And with a 2-year-old, my housing options were kind of limited anyway.
And the truth is, I really wanted to keep my job and stay close to home.
Going to IPFW made all that possible.
IPFW? It's the best choice I ever made.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. The right school, right here, right now.
Back at the Gates Center, Mike Moss, Kelly Hartley with you. Set number 4. Volleyball lead Santa Barbara 15-12. Artie's Army shirts.
Yeah. And during the break, we had a look at the women's volleyball team. My team sitting in the front row.
Good really dig nice. By ancient number 1. I'm sorry, Kelly.
That's okay. I just was going to say that this is really nice how both of our teams, the men certainly support us during our season, and our women are anxious to be here and support them.
I also saw across the way members of our women's basketball team, and they're going to be in action tomorrow afternoon
and
here at the Gates Center.
It's hard to miss the men's soccer team. I think is that the painted troop up there?
The Crazies. The Gates Crazies. Garcia is knocked away. Belk, long. Point IPFW. And that's one thing I will say, Kelly, in 5 years of broadcasting IPFW athletic events, the support that each of the other teams give the team is phenomenal.
How awesome to see the freshman, Sudar, with some enthusiasm and emotion there. He did an excellent job of penetrating his hands over the net, very strong, and blocked the ball directly to the floor.
Jensen for Kennedy, and Michael Kennedy knocks it home. Makes our score 17-14 favor of IPFW.
Well, in that last kill, Kennedy just ran further to zone 3 of the net, which is not in the middle. So Sudar would have had to move to get in front of him. That's more difficult to block.
Santiago for Bashevsky. Wow. Nate Wack never had a chance.
Well, with only one block up, and the way Matt is jumping and swinging tonight, that's just, you're not going to defend him with one block.
Garcia getting ready to serve. Don's up by 4. Jensen for Bankston. Nice dig by Santiago. Sakar didn't get the set in the right spot.
Well, and I don't think Coach Ball is happy that he set that ball at all. In fact, he probably needed to get out of the way. In their system, I know they want Matt to set that second ball. It's hard, and you get stuck. You feel like a deer in headlights. That ball's coming at you, but you have to move.
Kennedy to serve for the Gauchos. Sakar dug out by Wack. Jensen for Belk, and it's touched. Santiago to Bashevsky to Angel number 2. Point IPFW. Net violation on the part of Santa Barbara.
And Luis Rivera at that time did a real good job of being patient and waiting, recognized that Matt was off the net, needed to give him more time and room to set the ball. I think in Puerto Rico he had trouble with that a little bit. Anxious and approached too early.
Sakar serving, and it's a little too long. So the serve goes over to Santa Barbara. Gauchos trail 19-16. Dane Jensen with the honors. Santiago for Ruiz. It's dug out nicely by Jensen. Bankston blocked by Angel number 1. Belt blocked by the two Angels together. And you can see the confidence building.
Yeah, and and that's a freshman. It's a great play. Did a nice job of swinging back. I know Coach Ball's been working on a lot on understanding how important it is to get your hands over and towards the middle of the net. Not just being a backboard. You go up and put your hands over.
Wonder what your colleagues thinking there of that service error by
I was just going to kind of ignore that.
Yeah, he'll ignore it just temporarily. Bankston to serve. Gauchos trail by 3. Santiago for Bashevsky, and it's blocked at the net. Wide, however, by Para. IPFW gets the point. Angel Ruiz Rivera to serve. Service error.
And again, I pointed out that in Puerto Rico at times this team struggled with an epidemic of serving errors. I can kind of relate to that. My experience in the fall with our women's team, and they came in bunches. When we served errors, they were in bunches.
Santiago! What I like that is the acting. He's not only quick, he sees it out of he must have great peripheral vision.
Well,
it looks like he's not looking at all.
The only way to defend that is when he goes up and has the opportunity to attack the ball when he's in the front row, is to already have a blocker up in front of him, which means commit to him. So if you don't commit block to Dennis in that situation, you're not going to dig the ball from what you can see. He throws it straight down. So when he's front row, some teams might want to think about pushing a blocker in front of him and commit blocking to Dennis. Like that.
And that time Kennedy blocked Santiago.
Exactly what I'm talking about. That time the middle recognized that the ball was tight. Dennis had the could attack it, so he just penetrated over and blocked him.
22-20. Adams serving for Santa Barbara. And that's a poor set by Santiago. And already says timeout. I want to remind you to tune in to College 56 Sunday evening, January 19th at 6 p.m. for the replay of this men's volleyball game with UC Santa Barbara. That's Sunday evening, January the 19th at approximately 6 p.m. right here on College 56.
So you can come to the match at 4 o'clock on Sunday and then head home and maybe catch the end of it. This one.
That's right. Yeah. Key element is there's 2 different matches. And while we're at it, might as well mention too, something a little bit unique this Sunday. These same 2 teams will go at it again, and the first serve will be at 4 p.m., and the match will be simulcast on both College Cable Access Channel 56 and on NBC 33. And you and I get to watch a little bit, Kent Horman, and from Channel 33, and Blake Sebring from the News Sentinel are going to sit in our seats. And
we'll let the professionals handle it.
They'll do a heck of a lot better, I'm sure. I talked with Ken earlier in the week. He's looking forward to it. And Blake, the first broadcast I ever did, Blake was my color analyst way back when, in 95, 96.
And he understands the game as well as anybody. It was refreshing when I moved to Fort Wayne, and Blake interviewed me and asked real volleyball questions. And
so as you said, a live match at 4 o'clock and a tape replay at 6. Right now, it's 23-21, big point, Angel Ruiz, number 1. Santiago, and you want to bet it's going to be conventional serve?
It's a good float.
Good play there by Wack. Makes it 23-22.
Nate Wack was able to find the seam and drive it between it quickly. He said he hasn't had one of his better nights, but he sure made that one count.
Wack with the jump serve. Santiago for Bashevsky. And it's long. Dons wanted a touch. Didn't get it. We're tied at 23. Wack continuing to serve, and he serves long. That's a big point.
It helps the Diamonds.
This is a set IPFW has to win to extend the match to a fifth and final set. Javier Garcia, jump serve. Jensen for Bankston, dug out by Santiago. Angel number 2, dug out by Adams. Point IPFW, double hit.
Yeah, I just see Luis Rivera getting better and better. He came out in Puerto Rico in those exhibitions a little tentative, understandably.
Santa Barbara calls a timeout. How difficult is it as a coach, Kelly, to get your freshmen to not be tentative?
It's very difficult. We had some very talented freshmen this year, particularly Fabiana Souza, a freshman middle hitter. We ended up moving her to the outside, as you know, for part of the season, and then back to the middle again. But, there are times when, they just don't have that confidence and they're not comfortable yet. And I don't mean just with volleyball, but you have to remember they're away from home, some further than others, eating different food, some more different than others. And, that no mommy there to feel sorry for when you get home. All these changes in their life, academics, are maybe challenging for the first time. Sometimes high schools, it comes easy to some of these young women, and these men. So for freshmen, they just have a lot going on. And we have a choice, I think, as coaches to help them find confidence or, be a source of added pressure. Let's pay attention to that.
Well, we're back to the action. Again, Javier Garcia, not very close to home, being from Puerto Rico. Serving. Jensen. Good recovery by Brzezinski. Angel number 2. Wack hits it. Bankston, dug out by Angel number 1. Angel 2, dug out by Bankston. Adams blocked at the net. Sika and Angel number 2, a pair of freshmen. And there was no tentativeness at that block.
No, and, Luis Rivera just has, obviously, all the tools to become a very effective blocker. He's long-armed, he's tall, he's athletic.
Jensen, Bankston in under the net. Point Volleyball. They're up 4, 27-23. Santa Barbara says we're going to talk it over. They call timeout. So now let's put the shoe on the other foot. Santa Barbara calls a timeout, though they're ahead in the overall match. They're behind in this set. What does Coach Preston say?
Well, he's not saying anything right now, looking at him. I'm going to guess, getting back to some things that were working early for them. Early we commented on their hitting percentage. They just have done some really kind of, especially out of system. That last ball, for example, went in the middle of the net. That ball should have been high over the blocker's hands and somewhere to a corner, I think, safe, instead of pounding the ball into the net. Or I don't know what he was going after there. So they need to think a little bit right now. And of course, when you're in game 4 and you're up 2 games on this team, that starts wearing on you mentally. Start worrying a little bit. Right now, I, believe it or not, would rather be in IPFW's shoes than UC Santa Barbara.
Matthew Belk checked into the Santa Barbara lineup. Javier Garcia continues to serve. Volleyball's 3 points away from forcing a decisive 5th set. Kennedy hit it. Angel number 2 couldn't block it fair enough.
I think it might have went off his face. It's probably difficult to direct the ball off your face.
And keep the face intact.
That had to hurt. Wouldn't know it by looking at him. You get hit in the face in volleyball, you just can't show that it hurts. You just can't. It's wrong.
Kennedy.
It does.
Angel number 2, is it touched? No. Or is it? Now they say it is. And boy, Coach Preston is really upset.
This line judge, one line judge saw it. And
the point's going to remain IPFW's. Ryan Staley checks in. He's going to serve. His team up 28-24. Go. Jensen for Bankston. Off the fingertips, I believe, of Bashevsky. Point Santa Barbara. Jensen to serve. Santiago for Ranger number 2. It's still in play.
That's a playable area over there.
And Belk gets the winner. The crowd thought when that ball was heading up towards the nets it was a gun point. But it's not. The margin's only 2 at 28-26. Jensen, service error. Service error. Game point, IPFW, crowd on its feet. Matt Bashevsky to serve. Jensen for Belk, and it's wide. Point in set 4 goes to IPFW, 30-26. We're going to play a 5th set.
And now I believe we're going to take a peek at Coach Ball speaking to...
No. We're going to take a break instead, Kelly, and then we'll come back. Match is even, 2 sets apiece. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Hi. I was wondering if you wanted to go out maybe or something, if you had time.
I can tell by your excitable behavior and verbal faux pas that you have generalized anxiety with paranoid tendencies. It would never work.
Okay, thanks.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
You may have noticed IPFW's basketball games are a lot more fun this year, thanks to our very own pep band. Hi, I'm Krista Markham.
I'm Matt Ehrman.
And I'm Barry Sturgill, Stop Band Director. The Stop Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join.
This is a great chance to be a part of a new tradition at IPFW and meet lots of great people, too.
So dust off those trumpets, pull the flutes out of the attic, and join us at the next game.
Call 260-481-6166 for more information on how you can share your school spirit and IPFW pride.
Going to college is something many people plan and save for, but in these days of tight budgets, that can be a scary proposition. And what about colleges and universities themselves? How do they face budget crunches? Is there anything the institutions or their alumni can do to get more funding? I'm Jeanette Liu, and I'll have the answers to these and other questions on this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access Channel 56.
Welcome back here, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Mike Maz and Kelly Hartley with you. And Kelly, IPFW went into the locker room at the break between sets 2 and 3, down 2 sets to none. They've come back and win these last two, 30-21 and 30-26. And we look at some of the numbers, and the attack percentage for Santa Barbara in sets 3 and 4 start out with .0s.
Yeah, and and directly the opposite thing is happening for IPFW right now. They're just getting better and better. Certainly behind Mastodons division. Bashevsky, that's a tough one. and he's just getting better and better tonight, and you can see Dennis looking for him, especially when they need a point anywhere, because he's hit the hut on the outside. Of course, playing opposite, he hits the ball well behind the setter, and he hits that blue real well.
Set 5, different from sets 1 through 4 in the fact that you only play to 15 instead of 30. Does that change the coaching strategy any?
Well, to get your team to recognize that you don't have 5 points to dig yourself a hole, because you don't have as much time to get yourself out of it. So it's very important to get off to a good start.
It's interesting. IPFW is going to serve first. Do they do a coin toss? Because
yes.
IPFW served.
Yes, they call captains before game 5.
Matt Bashevsky will serve. You got Angels 1 and 2, Santiago, Garcia, and the libero Nick Bellman on the court along with Bashevsky for IPFW. Here we go. Jensen for Adams. And it's off of Angel 1's fingers, and it's point Santa Barbara.
Head. I think it was head down, or it might have hit his face, but off the top of his head. Matt Bashevsky with that float serve got him out of system. It was good effort.
Wax serving for the Gauchos. Nice block by Adams. Oh, Angel number 1 just found the opening. One of those little float jobs.
Well, yeah, and that's it's an off-speed attack. We haven't seen a lot of that from IPFW tonight, and now we score with it. You see Santa Barbara, on the other hand, I think 3 or 4 times has that off-speed attack has correlated into points for them.
Tied at 1. Nice put away there by Parra. We haven't heard much from him lately.
And that was a very good choice by Jensen to go to the middle, one-on-one. Middle should be able to hit a corner.
Parra serves. Santiago for Garcia. Dug out by Parra. Whack, blocked at the net. Angel number 1 and Garcia tag team.
Javier does a real nice job of recognizing that pipe set and sliding over and helping out to block.
Tied at 2. Angel Ruiz number 1 serving. And he served it a wee bit wide. 3-2 our score. Santa Barbara on top. 5th the deciding set. Justin Adams serving for the Gauchos. Sika denied by Santa Barbara. Santiago for Sika again. This time he gets it.
Sadar showing a lot of emotion that time.
Interesting, Kelly, that Dennis went back to Sika right away.
Yeah, I like that.
We're tied at 3, but Santa Barbara gets that point. They're up 4-3. Anders Bankston to serve. Santiago for Garcia. It's into the stands, point IPFW. We're tied at 4. When we play to 15, you have to win by 2, regardless, correct?
Correct.
Javier Garcia, what a debut for him. Jensen for Adams. Nice location for Justin Adams. Santa Barbara 5-4 lead. Michael Kennedy to serve. Santiago for Angel number 2. Dug out by Bankston. Jensen for whack. Blocked at the net. Point IPFW on a lift call. We're tied at 5.
And that's a good call. If that was the first contact on a hard-driven ball, now volleyball will say that's okay. If it's up, it's up. But on the second contact, which that was, you have to handle the ball better. So nobody should be complaining about that call. It was a good call.
Ryan Staley checks into the Volleyball lineup, and he's going to serve. We're tied at 5 here in set number 5. And Once again, a service error at an inopportune time.
Yeah, we just need for Ryan to become more comfortable at role, and he will.
Santiago for Bashevsky. Crowd loving it.
Bashevsky's just had an outstanding night, hasn't he?
6-6. Bashevsky serving. Jensen for Whack, and Whack hits it home.
Yeah, somewhere, and I'm not sure where, Whack did wake up and certainly is back to his performances of, I guess, a week or two ago when they played Pacific.
Serves it long, ties it at 7. Look at the replay there. Angel number 2, Ruiz Rivera with the jump serve. Jensen setting up Whack, blocked by Angel number 1. Bankston, Bashevsky to Santiago to Angel number 1. Dug out by Santa Barbara. And what are they call? Net violation.
Now at 8 points, they will switch sides.
8-7 our score. The teams switch ends. First lead here in this 5th set for IPFW.
I believe that we're going to serve right away here.
I know Dan Hauser, they started the clock, believe it or not. And Dan Hauser said no, it's just a matter of a few seconds.
That's right, it's not a timeout. Just switch sides and serve right away.
Angel Ruiz Rivera to serve. Jensen, Adams blocked at the net by Garcia. No, they say it's wide.
Well, the up official overruled the line judge. That happens, and he does have a better view. And sometimes that ball comes off the block so quick, it's hard for anybody to really get a good view.
Tied at 8. Para serving wide. Here's the volley, down to the lead. Sitka back in the lineup for IPFW. Angel number 1 serving. Jensen for Kennedy. Great effort. Dons just couldn't get it going. Point Santa Barbara. Justin Adams to serve. Again, 9-9. Set number 5. We're tied 2 sets apiece. We play to 15. Santiago to Angel number 1. And it's wide. Give Santa Barbara the lead. IPFW calls a timeout.
And now, earlier this week, we were able to talk to Coach Arnie Ball about this upcoming weekend and about how competitive we saw these matches this weekend.
I think the matches with Santa Barbara are close and competitive, number 1, because we developed this rivalry, and the kids don't remember that. The kids come and go, but Coach Preston and I go back a long way together. I first got to know Coach Preston in 1985 when he and I, well, he was the head coach of the World University team, and I was assistant coach, and we trained in Colorado and went to Japan and played in the tournament, and he and I developed a friendship since then. And it's a very friendly rivalry friendship. I mean, we're very close friends, but yet we play golf together, and it's very. The only thing we don't do together is surf, because I can't do that and he can.
Arnie surfing. Boy, I'd pay to see that.
Well, I think he can. I think he's lying.
Oh, there's my own tag team partner.
I don't think there's anything Coach Ball can't do or couldn't do if he wanted to.
Well, he's one of the best volleyball coaches in the country, bar none. Back to the action. Adams serving. Point IPFW. Jensen thought he had it. Santiago won that battle at the net. We're tied at 10. Vega back in the lineup, replacing Garcia for IPFW.
Vega coming in. Boy, it's late in game 5. Freshman and looks very confident. Calling out where the hitters are, who's who, and what responsibilities.
Benston with the hit.
Yeah, and it's kind of been a story night for him, hasn't it?
Garcia back in the lineup in a hurry. It's now 11-10. Santa Barbara leads. Play to 15, have to win by 2.
Well, at least Anders is serving now. Not in the front row where he's really hurt us hitting.
Santiago to Garcia, and it's blocked. Kennedy and whack, and now it's a 2-point lead. 12-10, and IPFW calls timeout. Let's take a break as well. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Study engineering so I could get a better job without giving up the job I've already got.
Of course, getting a degree without going into debt was pretty high on my list too.
And I wanted the kind of education that I could only get in smaller classes with the professor's full attention.
IPFW offered me all of that. And the Purdue engineering degree is going to look pretty good on my resume.
Going to IPFW is the best choice I ever made.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
Back at the Gates Center, 12-10 our score. Santa Barbara on top here. 5th and deciding set.
I'm going to sub there. Javier's back in for Mike Dega.
Bashevsky. The block attempt is wide by Kennedy. Big point for IPFW. It's now a 12-11 set. Garcia to serve. Time for the freshman to serve and see what he's made
right
of.
Now, with the score 11-12, I really think we go to a primary hitter offense, which means, you find the hot hand, which no doubt is Matt.
Whack, and he's wide. Or long, I should say. Tied at 12. And now Santa Barbara's going to call a timeout. The chess match is on early, Kelly. We're basically now almost into a...
Well, I don't know about early. It's about as late as it can get. 12-12 in Game 5. And certainly we've had a roller coaster of a night tonight, but great volleyball and everything Coach Ball said it would be in terms of competitiveness. It'll be interesting what they talk about playing golf tomorrow. Or do you think they'll golf in this weather? Coach Ball is nuts.
Not unless somebody's got a private jet that they can fly south or something.
What I think we should pay attention to now is, who's going to get the ball, not where or how, but who's going to get the ball and get an opportunity to win it for their teams here. And I think they just have to find a hot hand.
Does it really boil down to basically Santiago against Jensen, the setters? To some degree or no?
Well, your setter is a very important position, but certainly in this game, you need 6 players out there.
Here we go. Tied at 12. Javier Garcia to serve for the Volleyball.
That's one thing I like about IPFW this year is we're so much deeper. We're so much deeper than the last couple years. Jeff Petak's not in the match tonight, and that's okay. I mean, sure we might be a little better with him, but we've got other people to step in and compete with the number 10 ranked team in the country.
Kennedy serving for Santa Barbara. Santiago for Bashevsky. Point Volleyball. And now you've got to the point of no return. Whoever wins 2 points in a row may win this match.
And I like that choice, Dennis. Find Matt.
Momentary delay. Going to do some cleaning on the floor.
And we have to point out the freshman, what a debut for him. Sidar Sika, I mean, he's hitting over 600.
And no errors.
Yeah, I didn't recognize that earlier. He has 8 kills, no errors. Hitting over 66%. That's just phenomenal.
Here we go. Whack. Dug out. Jensen for whack again. Touched by IPFW. Hits the floor. It's now match point for Santa Barbara.
They worked hard for that point. Recovered as the ball was first, overpassed over deep. They recovered back.
Jensen serving for the match. Bellman, Santiago, Bashevsky, dug out by Adams. Adams again, dug out by Santiago. Garcia, they save it. Yes. Santiago saves it. Jensen for whack. That's it, off the hand of Bashevsky. Set and match goes to Santa Barbara. 15-13 in the fifth. We're going to take a break and come back to talk about it. Again, Santa Barbara wins in 5. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
You know, she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour. Unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales. You're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
You may have noticed IPFW's basketball games are a lot more fun this year, thanks to our very own pep band. Hi, I'm Krista Markham.
I'm Matt Ehrman.
And I'm Barry Sturgill, Stop Band Director. The Stop Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join.
This is a great chance to be a part of a new tradition at IPFW and meet lots of great people too.
So dust off those trumpets, pull the flutes out of the attic, and join us at the next game.
Call 260-481-6166 for more information on how you can share your school spirit and IPFW pride.
Going to college is something many people plan and save for, but in these days of tight budgets, that can be a scary proposition. And what about colleges and universities themselves? How do they face budget crunches? Is there anything the institutions or their alumni can do to get more funding? I'm Jeanette Liu, and I'll have the answers to these and other questions on this month's edition of IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access Channel 56.
Welcome back to the Gates Center, everybody. Mike Moss, Kelly Hartley with you, and a tough way to start the season, Kelly. IPFW down 2-0, comes back, forces a 5th set, but they lose 15-13 in the 5th. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah, a tough way to start the season, obviously, with a loss, a heartbreaker in that at home. But, I'm going to try and put a positive spin on this, and we saw a lot of good things from some new people. This is a young team. There's a lot to build on, and we just saw them get better and better as the night went on.
Well, I'm glad you joined the team, even though we lost the match. I'm glad to have you on board. Thanks for your commentary tonight. Okay, this time we'd like to thank the College 56 production crew, the IPFW athletic staff, the City of Fort Wayne, Comcast Cablevision, the IPFW Learning Resource Center, and especially the IPFW Office of University Relations and Communications for their contributions to this College 56 Sports telecast. This telecast of IPFW Sports is copyrighted and the sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this event without expressed written consent is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed our telecast of IPFW Sports, and we thank you again for tuning in this evening. For Kelly Hartley, this is Mike Moss saying so long for now. Again, Season opener, IPFW falls to UCSB. Scores are 30-27, 30-26, 21-30, 26-30, and 15-13. Join us tomorrow at 1 o'clock for women's basketball, Sunday at 4 o'clock for the rematch of these two teams, and Sunday night for the replay of this match with Santa Barbara. Until then, we wish you a pleasant farewell from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW.